Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another video. First and foremost, just want to say a big thank you to all the supporters of the channel, all the friends we have here, old and new. Really appreciate you watching the videos and hopefully enjoying the content. Uh, I haven't had much bench time, to be quite honest, to work on the 63 generic box art car. I've been concentrating on work a little bit too much this week. And my days have probably been between 8 and 10 hours, and that's just photoing model kits which I bought in. I bought in a few hundred over the last month alone, and I need to sort through all them and start storing them and seeing what I'm going to sell next and what have you. But yeah, I thought because we haven't really made much project on the build, I thought I'd do a bit of a filler video, and I'm just gonna go off the question that's been going about YouTube at the moment. That started by Jason at Hot Rod Model Cars. If you're not seeing his channel, please go over there and check it out. He's got some really great stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think the question was, what's your oldest kit in the collection, and what's the coolest kit? Now, I kind of knew what my oldest kit was straight away. It's nothing too exciting, I'm afraid. But just go straight in that. That's been doing me head in, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, the oldest kit wasn't hard, but what the coolest kit was a real struggle, to be quite fair. I've got a lot of nice old stuff, and the stuff I've got here is really, really hard to choose from. And I'm trying to keep this as much as I can for boxed up kits, kits which are complete or pretty much untouched in the box. Some might have had some work on it, but yeah, it was such a hard question. And I was looking through all the stuff I had, and even choosing a kit from a single year was really difficult. So what I've decided to do, I was going to do this two ways. I was just going to, for the coolest part, I was just going to run you down what I've got in the collection, in the stash as a whole. Just run you down the corridor. I've got everything stored in, and let you choose. But that'll probably be an hour and a half video just doing that. So I thought what I'd do for this one is I would pick my favourite kit from the annuals I've got, and I've kept it from sort of 58 to 75, and most of it, and even that, it was struggle to pick just one out of an annual year. So you may have two, maybe one or two, maybe three in some cases, just to look at. But with like I say, I'm trying to keep it to box kits rather than built kits. I've got so many cool cool builders all stacked up, which are probably a bit cooler than some of these. With just because they're the ones I can afford, and they're the ones I can afford to keep hold of. So, but yeah, I mean, I think, well, enough said. We're 3 minutes in, you're not even had a look at a model kit yet. So yeah, my oldest kit. Like I say, nothing exciting about this whatsoever. It was reissued in the 90s under the buyer's choice. But I believe this was issued in 1957. Still a complete kit. I think this is one of the few which has had a little bit of work on it. I bought this as a builder, or but I think there was very minor work done to the body or something on this one. But yes, I think that's my oldest one. I've got other builders, like say, I think the 57 Revel station wagon is 57 Ford station wagon, which I've already showed on the channel, is probably my oldest builder. But yeah, I mean, like I say, there's nothing too exciting because it's been reissued. Everybody's seen it, and it's probably been issued a few more times since the 90s as well. But they are nice kits. They do build into nice kits. had a few of the newer issues, but I kept hold of this one just because, you know, it has had a bit of work started on it, and yeah, I do want to build one of these one day. So we will get round to it one day and see what we can do with it. But yeah, so that's the oldest kit. So for 58, in all fairness, the only box kit I really have is the 58 Lincoln, 58 Edsel hardtop. You know, they didn't give you much to see what was in the box at the time, but you know, just another generic box art, really. You know, you got, I think it's mainly based on the 58 Ford, sorry, which is mostly depicted on here, and you know, a little kid working on something which looks like a 57 Chevy, the way the roof is. But yeah, I mean, these are some of the lineups here on. Yeah, I've pretty much got all of these in build estate, to be quite fair. I haven't got the 58 Ford, to be honest with you. And I've not got the Pontiac, but I think the other ones I've pretty much got is in started or what have you. So, but yeah, I mean, that's probably the oldest kit, which I actually, yeah, I'm too fussed about. You know, I'm not overly fussed about that Pontiac Club de Mer, but yeah. So I think that was the 58 one. I thought I'd bring this one out for 59 because I don't actually know if this was issued in 59, but this is the British version of the AMT annuals. They come in a big flat box in comparison to the your standard 58, 59 size AMT box. You know, it's quite a bit bigger. This one's the Buick. I've actually taken it out of here just because there's such flat boxes that I don't want the windshield frame getting busted on here. But I've got the model up in a bag on the shelves just to keep it a little bit safer. So, but yeah, I mean, this was Playcraft who issued these. Obviously, a deal they had with AMT at the time. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the generic box art you got on the 59, but just in a different style box for the UK market. I mean, I don't think they did many, to be fair, to be honest. I think they just did the Buick and the Lincoln in these. I'm not too sure of any others, to be quite honest with you. But you know, I'm sure I'll be corrected if I'm incorrect. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they were just the Buick and the Lincolns in these Playcraft ones. Yeah, it's just an example of model companies working together at the time and try and get as many kits out there into the market as possible. So for 60, you know, again, this is one where I struggled. You know, I've got, in all fairness, I've not got many 60 annuals. I think I've got the 60 Buick, but that hasn't got the box and what have you. So this is the AMT 1960 Chevy convertible. I think this is actually built in here, to be fair. It's built with all the extra parts in there. That's why I've kept it in the box and not taking it out. So, but yeah, that was quite a nice one. I mean, I had the El Camino years ago and I sold it stupidly, but you know, that would have been a cooler kit for 60, I think. But I mean, I think with this, at least you're getting to see some of how the boxes change throughout the years. And I've also got a 60, I think this is a 60 DeSoto Adventurer. This was before they cut the hood out and what have you. This was pretty much a promo kit. But I thought it was interesting to look at the similarities in box arts between Joanne and AMT at the time. You know, some really cool box art on there. I mean, I do like this box art, to be quite honest with you. And Yeah, it's a bit grubby on the side, you know. It looks like it's got a bit damp at some point and what have you, but still a nice kit nonetheless, and I'm happy to have one of the original ones. Very simplified chassis on them, just like a complete flat base to those in 60. I don't think they're really advanced that far in that time, but 61. I've already done an unboxing on this, but I think this is my coolest 61 annual, to be fair, the Corvair. You know, we've seen all this one before. You know, if you just go back on the videos, I've done a full unboxing on this one, but you know, another nice generic box art, to be quite honest with you, for that. But you know, like I say, I've spent a bit of time on that in another video, so and 62, done this one as well in another video. I have picked out a few more just because we've already looked at some of these. Yeah, 62 was, you know, I think this was the coolest box anyway, just because, you know, it has the display case box, the window box as they call it. So, but that's another one I've done a full unboxing on. So if you want to have a look at that one in detail, just have a check through the old videos. But you know, the other choices for 62, you know, I have a soft spot for the Lincolns. This is another minting box one, I think. You know, I can't really remember, to be quite honest, but yeah, this is a one which is completely untouched. Got all the nice customizing bits in there and what have you. But you know, this would be a really easy box art car to replicate. You know, you pretty much all you need is you could probably get away with using the 62 Impala or, you know, something like that for that. I mean, it's got more of a Mercury or maybe the Ford. In fact, yeah, 62 Galaxy might be a better one for that, and I do have one as a builder. But yeah, I'd struggle to use my only builder for that. So I'd probably, if I was to recreate that, maybe use Impala and see what I can do with it. I've got a few of them manuals all built up and what have you. But yeah, again, we're still on the generic box art in 62. They started putting pictures on them. I think in 61 they had them on the sticker, and then they started putting them on the box in 62 to let you know what you could get. But again, all these had plenty. They were all plenty full of parts. You know, this is quite a heavy box for this. This is the smallest style box they did, really. But yeah, I mean that's jam packed and it weighs a ton. I think the only other one I didn't really know whether to put in this in 61 or 62, but you know, this is, I think it was issued in late 61 for the 62 model year. I've got a few in this range, and you know, it's they're really nice old kits, these ones. I think, yeah, this one's had a few bits started on it. I think the body's painted and what have you, and that's about it on it. Somebody painted the body gold, but everything else is pretty much untouched in there. But yeah, I've got the 62 Plymouth, the can't remember with the other one. I've got, I think it's red on the box or something. Potentially Plymouth Valiant, but I've got the Fury as well. But yeah, so 62, there was a few nice ones in there, and I think for 63 again, you know, we've seen quite a bit of this thing lately. But I think, yeah, 63s was another struggle year I had, you know, just to even get two out of it, and this was the first one, you know. This one's the builder in the box, which has all the parts untouched in it. So all the rest of the parts untouched, but you know, that's the one we're trying to replicate on the generic box art build. So if you haven't seen any of those, just go back and check it over. But yeah, the Mercury was it took me a long time to get this one, to be fair, and yeah, like I say, got changed to the 64. So even though that 64 is a lovely kit, you know, I thought the 63 was a much better looking model, but I think the other one, just having a bit of kit avalanche where I'm stacking them up beside me, but yeah, 63, this was the other one I really liked out of the collection, the 63 Imperial. And another example of a really nice box art car. I know a few people have suggested using the Riviera for this one, but the sides and the length didn't really. To say you've got a Grafter 63 Galaxy roof on there, it didn't really. I think the length of the Riviera was a bit too short, and the sides were actually look more like this one. Yeah, this could be to be honest, it could be you could probably use a 64 Pontiac, 63 Pontiac if you had one, but I think I don't think I've even got a 63 Pontiac built up or not built up, so yeah, if I was to do that, I'd probably try and get away with using the Riviera. It has the same kind of body line and what have you, so you'd probably get away with doing that, but you know, it's like I said, if you're doing box art builds, and it's really, it's to your own interpretation. You know, there's no right answer with these. It's just, what you think you could build to make a model look like one of these. But yeah, I mean, there's I think, like I say, it's very Pontiac, is that, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, this is a nice one, to be quite honest with you. A really nice body on there and what have you, and yeah, pretty much untouched is this one as well. If I was to have a favourite box art, I don't have it, to be quite honest. The 61, I can't remember which, I think it was 61 hardtop or convertible. They had a picture of the Imperial and the Lincoln on the same box, and one's never come my way, to be quite fair, and if it has done, I've sold it. So that must have been a long time ago, because I can't remember having one. But yeah, that was my other favourite for 63. 64, another tough year, to be quite honest with you. But if I was to have a favourite, it would have been the 64 El Camino. I did have the box for that one, and yeah, I remember buying. This was an original 64, and I built this from a minting box kit, and then I used all the parts some of the customizing parts to make a 65 in using, because all the parts are easily interchangeable. You just have to sand off the fronts of the peak on the 65 front fender, and I think you have to take the firewall out. But yeah, you have to take the firewall out, and then all of this fits, or you at least would have to shave down the firewall. But it came with a Westcraft speedboat, and I think years ago when I needed some money, I had a builder, and I just married up the builder with the box I had left over, and sold it. So hence why I've not got a box one of them. But yeah, this is another favourite, the 64 station wagon. These would obviously change to the 65, but the station wagon and the El Camino in 64 had an absolute plethora of custom parts, and they weren't the same between kits. You got different customizing parts between the El Camino and the station wagon. But yeah, I definitely got a soft spot for them. I've sold a few of these in my past, but since I stopped doing that as much as I can, I've got a couple of these in box on the shelf now, and And that's why I have so many 65 builders, the station wagon and the El Camino, because you know you can use all these parts to make a better looking or a rarer looking built model using them other parts. Yeah, that was one of my choices for 64, and my next one was this one, the 64 Galaxy R-Top. You know, this one has the working lights and what have you, and you know, really nice custom front and rear end treatments on this. You know, you got quite a few different ways you could have built this custom, but this was stock custom or stock custom drag racing and yeah, stock car kind of thing. But yeah, this is another one which I think the only thing with this one, it's got the engine house glued together. Other than that, it's pretty much a mint kit, to be quite fair with you. So, and again, why I've got so many promos, you know, because I thought I could use all the custom bits on promos rather than using it on this one when I eventually build it. You know, it'd most likely be built. I wouldn't say box stock because, you know, I'm not. Yeah, we've all seen that promo, and yeah, so I'd probably do it a mild custom, but use all the working lights and get them to work, or maybe even update it somehow. Really got to learn how to do lights as a project that I really want to do, which needs lights in it. So yeah, maybe one day I'll learn that. Learn what you need. I don't think it's that difficult, is it? But excuse me. Again, 65 really struggled. Really struggled. I think it's the year which I'm heaviest on annual kits, and I really struggled to choose them, to be quite honest with you. So I've chosen two. This one, the Impala, you know, it's I just love this front end, and the convertible had the full glass roof you could put on and what have you. I think this one comes with the vinyl top and or vinyl decal and what have you, and you know, there's quite a few custom front ends on it, regardless of whether you use this part and cut off the front end of your rare old kit. But you don't even need to nowadays with that. You could use the Hasegawa body, which is pretty much the same body as this, or you just use the monogram one. I'd probably use the Hasegawa kit just because it's pretty much a copy of that. We will do a video on all them. You know, I keep on saying I will, but you know, that 66 range, yeah, which they bought out, you know, is pretty much copies of various different manufacturers' kits. But yeah, like I say, lovely box art on this all the way through. Just exactly what the question was, just a really cool old kit, and this is another minting box one, is that. But I think my favourite are the 65s, and I've got quite a few variants of this one. I've got the Hero one, which I bought, and to be honest, I bought the Hero one because it had all the funky saddle things in where the door handles were, and I bought, it was a mint kit, and I bought it at the same time as I bought this one. And the whole intention was to use that one to make the pickup. But when I got that kit, I will do an unboxing on this one and show you the Hero version. But it's like moulded with tassels hanging off all the way under. I should have just bought the box over, to be quite fair, rather than trying to explain it. But yeah, it's got moulded tassels, and they're so intricate. I'd feel gutted having to just get a knife and trim all them off to build this, and it is a mint kit as well, so I'd rather wait and find a builder, and once I find a decent builder, which I'm happy cutting the boot lid panel out of, you know, I'll do that. But yeah, this is the convertible version, and it was just my favourite, but this was definitely a grail kit for a long time for me. I love the custom pickups of the 60s where cut up big sedans and what have you, and make pickups out of them. But you know, just a really nice box on this one. You know, it's not too shabby either. This box art, the condition of this box. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is another untouched one, and yeah, it's just jam packed. It's, you know, I saw one of these the other day on eBay, and you know, it had all the back panel cut out, and it went for over 60 quid, and you know, I can't justify paying that for a model which was being cut up, and even though it was cut up the way I would have done it anyway, 60 quid for that. I'd rather just wait and pay half of that for a build of it. Yeah, there's some crazy prices going on some of them kits. I think there was a 66 Wildcat with all the roofs smashed in, and just because it was in the old box, it went for 35 quid. And you know, you can go, if this was reissued by round 2, I would have no interest in this one really if they'd brought it out in the same box art. You know, the round 2 kits are far significant, so more better quality, and you get better tyres and what have you, and stuff like that, and better decals. But yeah, the point I was getting at was that 66 Wildcat, which I saw go for sale. You know, they've reissued that and a million times, and I wouldn't be paying 35 quid for a box where there's in the body's completely mangled up. So, but yeah, good on the seller. You know, he got a good price for it, and hats off to him. Like, you know, it makes a change in this day and age. We're really suffering yeah, it's definitely a buyer's market at the moment, to be quite honest with you. But anyways, we'll move on. So that was 65, 66. This was definitely my favourite annual. I mean, I do have a lot of flat box kits. Well, I'll say maybe 14, 15 flat box kits or something, and I don't think I've got many in this lot, to be fair. You know, I've either shown them before, or you know, there's other kits which I think are cooler. So, but yeah, this was yeah, I got a couple of these ones. I think one of them's started, and I think this one is the one which is unbuilt. Yeah, this is again pretty much mint in the box. You know, you'll see I've packaged up all these. You know, I do that as soon as I buy them or when I get round to it, and just to preserve the parts and what have you. But the chrome is absolutely immaculate in this one as well. Like, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Chryslers and all the anything Mopar really. So, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a massive Mopar fan, as in regard, you know, people obviously put that with the likes of, you know, the muscle cars, but I think where I'm a Mopar fan, it's more the bigger saloon cars and sedans and what have you. But yeah, that was a definite favourite. Like, you know, like I say, I got the one in box where the body's just been painted and rest is pretty much there, ready to go. And I bought that to put the custom parts on, but again, the chrome is absolutely immaculate, and you don't really want to be not using bumpers that good looking really on a kit. So yeah, that I'll probably do one as stock and one as a mild custom again, just so we get to use them parts and see if these fit anything else, or we find a builder in later years. 67, another one I really struggled with. I've got a few of the AMC annuals. I think this is my coolest annual out of them all. It's got changed to the 68. Which I do have I didn't include. The only reason I've got the 68 Galaxy and I've not included it in this one is I've promised the box to Gary, so I've just got to sort of take all that stuff out, and we'll eventually get it to him. I'm just waiting for something else to come in. I said I'd let him have, and just waiting for the seller of that stuff to get back in contact with me. But yeah, 67. You know, it was, you know, another 1 year only kit. changed into the 68, and that got changed into the 69. So both of them kits we'll never see again. But and I had quite a few. I had a few builders of these as well, and promos and what have you with the 67, and I ended up selling them. But and when I sell my old stuff like that, it really means I need to pay a bill. It's not the run of the mill stuff which I sell on a daily basis, so to speak. But yeah, just another cool old box with another highly option kit. This is I think they started putting the frame chassis on these ones, or half frame chassis kind of thing, so a little bit more detailed and what have you. But yeah, that was one of my choices for 67. But I think my favourite, or what I would think is my coolest 67 annual, is this one. Again, I've got a couple of these boxed up, and I just love I'm a massive fan of the 68 police car, which this was changed in 60 into the 68, and then that tooling got changed to the 68 Fury pursuit car. We've grown to love, and probably one of the best fleet cars that has ever been issued. In fact, I don't think there's a model which beats that one, to be quite honest with you. But I don't have an original, and it didn't really fall into the annual kind of theme we're doing, so I've not included that for 68. But yeah, the 67, 60, 68 Sport Roofs were definitely some of my favourite kits. And I thought, with the customising parts on these, we could probably make one of. It seems stupid to make 4-door instead of 2-doors. It's mostly the other way around with me, but you can use all these customising parts on the 68, and you probably end up with a nice custom out of it. I've got a couple of roofs which would work well on the 68 Fury 4-door. But yeah, it's certainly one of my favourite kits out of the collection, this one. I think the only annoying thing about it is when you have it on the shelf, you can't see any artwork, really. It's just a nameplate, and it hides all this really nice looking artwork. But again, that's another minter in there. I mean, we will get around once my internet's sorted and I can just do videos off the fly. I'll do unboxings on all these, to be fair. So, but it gives you a sort of idea of what's maybe coming in the future and what have you. 68, coolest annual. Another one I've already done an unboxing on, but yeah, this is definitely my coolest 68. Absolutely love this kit. I mean, the only disappointing thing, like I said in the actual unboxing video, is it's not the hard top. If it was the hard top, you wouldn't have all this cool roof work on here and what have you. But yeah, if you want to see that one, just go back through my videos and see what we got in there. But 69, I don't really have many annual 69 box kits. I've got plenty of builders and what have you, annual builders, but out of the couple I've got, this was, I'd say, my coolest one. Reason being is I bought the 90s issue when it came out in the late 80s or early 90s or whatever, with the red car on the box, and that's a definite favourite from my childhood. But I've got a few of them on the box, but I was after this one for a long time, and the reason being is, like I say, it's one of them childhood kits, if you know what I mean, for the later issue. And then when you start looking into it and researching the models, this is the reason I wanted this issue, is the custom front and rear end parts on it. And I am going to build one of them one day using them bits. But yeah, I don't think you saw these bits in later issues, to be fair. I think they were all deleted. And I don't know why, to be quite fair. There's only one extra tree, really, and you got pretty much everything else. So There's always a heavy option kit as well. Was this one? You know, with the 3-in-1 for the stock, you got all your stock car bits and what have you. And but yeah, that was the one I was after. So yeah, some really nice front and rear end, and it's an unusual car to customise, but I did really like that, to be fair. So yeah, I finally got one of those, and I think I got a builder one as well with the parts on. So another one I'd like to get done, but 70. To be fair, this is the only cartoon box I've got. And so this one's quite dear to me, to be quite honest. Now I've got it, so. But yeah, this is quite a recent acquisition as well, to be quite fair with you. The seller didn't want much for it, and it suited my price range. And to be quite honest with you, I've sold the later issue for twice what I paid for this one, so I was really happy with it. And I know Sean had it. It was one of Sean's choices on his channel as well, so. But yeah, really happy with that one. And like I say, you can pretty much, if you add an extra body, you can. Excuse me. Should have got a glass of water by desk, but yeah, if you add another body, you pretty much could build 2 kits out of this. It's got a full fully cast chassis and all your stock stuff as well. So yeah, that was definitely one I was happy to get. I mean, I've not done a stash ads video for a while, and I was going to do that this morning before I did this, but yeah, by the time I got round to doing another video, you know, this probably wouldn't be as relevant. So 71. I think this is my coolest one for 71. I was always fascinated by this box art, and I loved all Winfield fades and stuff like that, you know. And this got me really intrigued, and this one got changed as well to later years. I think it was changed at 72, and then they ended the tooling in 73, but where bumpers got a bit heavier and what have you. But you know, so these have got 1 year only bumpers on it, but you know, this is obviously you've got that silly things on there, but you know, I think it was to appeal to the kids and what have you. But yeah, the fades are the factory fades on here are really terrible, to be quite honest with you. You basically got like a lime green body, and I don't know how they did it in the factory, to be honest. I'm assuming it maybe sort of hand done by some work with an airbrush going like that down the line of them. Not too sure, but yeah, it was done like it. And on all of them, I think there was this 72 GTO or 71 GTO, which was moulded in brown, and you know, they weren't really a fade, to be quite honest with you. It just looked like somebody had gone down with black down the bodies. I thought I wouldn't mind doing one with an actual proper fade paint job like that. I don't know if I'd do it with the 71. I'm kind of leaning to it, to be quite fair. You know, get that paint job the way it should be. But yeah, I think it's certainly one of my favourites on for that year anyway. I mean, I'm not heavy on box kits for 71. In fact, you know, towards the late 60s, early 70s, you know, I ain't got many annual box arts or box kits. They're all builders. But yeah, I mean, another nice one, and I had to give this one an honourable mention. And it's not an annual kit, but because I don't have it. But you know, this is probably one of my all-time favourite kits. Still never built one. I've got a couple of these on the shelf now, and one of them's destined to be built like that blue one out of the original Gone in 60 Seconds movie, which got its rear quarter panel taken out, you know, and that's kind of you know, I do like movie cars, but I also like movie prop cars, background cars, and yeah, and that film definitely got enough of them. So, but yeah, that's just a lovely kit. Is that? And I just love the stock version on there as well, and what have you. I just thought, and I don't know why they haven't re-released this one. To be quite fair with you, not too sure what year this one was. 87. So I would have thought it'd be too late for him to change it into any NASCAR kit or anything. You know, that been and gone. So yeah, we've not seen this one since 87, and you know, I don't know if they're worried about the people moaning because it's NPC and that, you know, it never had a Superbird front end and what have you. But for the annual, you know, they were just thinking what might be. You know, they'd run the Superbird front end for a couple of years before that. So I'm assuming that's why that they worked that part into it. Now 72, I don't have any built any box kits, annual box kits for 72, but so I'm going to break the think chain a little bit and just show you a couple of builders, some of my coolest builders for 72. You know, I got a 72 Charger. I know that's a favourite of Mark Batson's over at Hobby-Do 007. I think he spent a long time looking for one of these. He finally got hold of one the other month and what have you. That's a good video. That resonated with me quite a bit with cars you've sold and wish you hadn't sold. But yeah, that's quite a rare old kit, is this 72 Charger. So yeah, a nice one is that one. Bought this from the same seller. These were bought years ago, but I bought this from the same seller as well. 72 Challenger. Got the annual things on number plates on there and what have you. But yeah, the one I bought for a Gone in 6 Seconds build. But you know, I was going to do that the red Challenger, but it's too nice to damage or make it look damaged. And I think with that car as well on there, it just changed from 71 to a 72 or 73 numerous times throughout. So 73. Don't really, again, like I say, running out of box arts, but I've always been a big fan of Mustangs, to be quite honest with you, and this is the original 73 issue, I believe. I'm not too sure, I think it is anyway. But yeah, because I obviously like that old Gone in 6 Seconds film, this one, yeah, I got a few of these in different box arts, and you know, it's not too hard to modify that wood to a sport roof. And in more recent issues, they brought out the correct wheels. I don't know why AMT has held back and not done a standard hood. Yeah, if anybody's listening out there, if you put a standard hood on that, you tooled up a standard hood, painted it in the Eleanor colours, you sell quite a few of them, to be quite honest with you, and revive a kit which has been churned out. And like I said, they're doing bits and pieces you know, to improve these. And you know, you got to be forever grateful for everything Round 2 does for us, to be quite honest with you, because you know, you can moan about the quality of the kits, but they're all coming from, yeah, this kind of era, yeah. Saying that, and what they're doing is in my eyes, the right way of doing it, and just correcting the bodies and correcting the interiors, and then you can do whatever you want with them from there. It's up to you how you want to build them from there. And yeah, all this moaning about not having engines and stuff in it, you know, you're still getting a really nice improved body out of it. So 74, another one. I didn't really have any annual boxes. I think I got some pickups in 74, but you know, like the Datsun pickups and what have you, but they're not really of interest, really. I mean, they are of interest, but I wouldn't call them cool, to be quite fair, or not in my opinion. But so I think this is a 74, and if I'm wrong, I mean, it could be 72 to 74, I would have thought with this, but it was sold to me as a 74, and you know, I don't think there's that many differences in them. But this is just a Joanne promo. Paint started to go on top. I don't really know what's happened there, to be quite fair, but it's how I bought it. And make a nice 007 jump car, that, wouldn't it? Paint it red, white stripe. Ooh, there you go. Yeah, that's what I've got this one for. Even though the actual jump car was heavily modified, you had massive, really radius the wheel arches on that one. So I'd probably build this as like just the main screen car where it was unmodified and what have you. But yeah, the one they jumped on there was heavily modified, and yeah, not much stock in that car whatsoever, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of these sort of Joanne promo box ones and what have you, and I think the only other 74 I've got, to be quite fair, it's yeah, I've got a few of these Cadillacs and what have you, Cadillac promos, 73, 74 Cadillac promos, and the reason why I really like this one and thought it was really cool is because of the Joanne display cases. I remember my dad when he went to buy the F-Type Vixer we had. The guy we bought it from, he had a couple of early 70s Cadillacs in the driveway, in the garage, and he had this great office, and I was like maybe 5 or 6 at the time, and he had one of these in the display case. I didn't know what it was at the time, you know. I just knew it was a really cool old model to me at the time. You didn't see many of these in the mid 80s and what have you. Not over here, anyways. But I remember it. I remember really wanting that, and to the point I pretty much threw a tantrum. You know, as you do when you're a toddler or in them early years, you know, really did throw a tantrum and start crying my eyes out and what have you on his driveway. And he came out and he gifted me an old Solido. I think it was like a 57 Cadillac or something, like a 143rd thing in a box. And yeah, I felt really bad about that ever since, to be quite fair. To the point I'm mentioning it nearly 40 years later, so 35, 40 years later. So, but yeah, that's 74, and so my last annual, nearly an hour, but I mean, we've seen a lot of kits, haven't we? So is 75 Plymouth. Another one it took me a long time to get hold of. And this didn't go for much money either, to be quite fair. You know, this I don't know why it didn't. It went for about 35 quid or something, which, yeah, it's mint in box and everything. And yeah, another one which got changed to I think it was changed to the 76 and 77. I think it was changed to the 76 Roadrunner. And then it got changed to the annual 77, 77 two-door, which I've got that annual as well. But and then I think they used that for the Force 440 kit, and then that obviously got changed into the 78 Monaco four-door we see today's another one which we'll never get back. But I love this front end. I just thought it was a really nice looking car was this one. And yeah, this has got it's all this kind of stuff I like, the quirky stuff, the skis and what have you. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And like I say, apologies we're again gone in for a long video. I thought I'd maybe get this done in half an hour, maybe, but of course we haven't. But I think the last ones I'd like to give an honourable mention to, as in the coolest kits, is this range here. You know, they brought out the 50 Ford with all the different cars with different roofs and stuff like that, and you know, the 57 Ford as well. They just had so much box art to look at that, you know, I think every side was just absolutely stunning, like on these ones. And yeah, there was 4 really, and mainly in that range, and yeah, the 57 T-Bird as well. I just sold one of these just because, yeah, it helps with a bill, and in all fairness, I had 4 stacked up on the shelves. So, you know, I do like these ones just because, you know, yeah, it just the full range of options they illustrated that you could build the kit as, and yeah, I'd love to have time to build each and every one of these just like they did on here, and hence why I've got a few of these, just for all the extra parts and what have you. And the last one was really the 57 Chevy. I think these were all bought out between 62 and 64 or something, and yeah, this one came with all the extra front and rear ends and the chop top and stuff like that, and I think what I like about these is they were kits of my childhood, not these ones, but obviously the later issues and what have you, and yeah, it's like I say, through me trying to learn about models through my young years, you find out the histories of them, and yeah, all these customizing parts they left. Yeah, I don't think there was many issues where they continued. I think they did a couple of extra issues for the 57 Ford, 57 Chevy and 57 Ford, where they still had them parts, but yeah, pretty much following this one, the 50 Ford and the 57, I think they deleted all the parts, and to the point that 57 Thunderbird, there's barely anything in it, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, we lost quite a lot of bits. I know they restored some of the bits for the 57 Ford, but it was none of the front and rear ends for it, and yeah, I think they restored the podded headlamps and what have you, but putting them on without the extended rear end, it made the front end look really heavy on this if you've not got anything to balance it out on. So like I say, that, you know, they're trying with what they can, and yeah, the tooling's probably long gone or it's beyond repair and what have you, but yeah, it would be nice to see these old kits back in the original form and what have you. But yeah, if you saw some of them on shelf in the shop, you'd lap them up, wouldn't you? But so yeah, anyway, so we're pretty much an hour as usual, but like I say, it was a really, really difficult question for me. I think if I took you down the corridor, you know, started talking for what Kit said, and it would have been even harder. So we're going to wrap this video up now, and thank you if you've made it to the end. Thank you ever so much for watching, and really hope you've enjoyed the video. And I'm losing my voice now, so get that last cough out of the way, and yeah, that's what you're going to remember me for. So we will definitely see you in the next video. Hopefully we'll get an update on that, on the box art build sort of by the weekend. So whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you soon. See you, bye.